everybody, Earl J. Wagadorn.
Yeah, a million of them.
We're gonna have a stack of papers as high as the sky.
Higher than that, even.
You can't go higher than the sky. That's all the high there is. Boy, I've always wanted to go to Count Wakasaki. Haven't you?
I never heard of it.
Me neither. But Mrs. Schaefer says it's up in the mountains, and I love the mountains.
Me too. They're higher than the sky.
As soon as we win this paper drive, we'll...
Huh! Look who thinks they're gonna win the paper drive. You shrimps haven't got a chance.
We have to, as much as you and Spack.
Some chance.
My mother's already saving papers for us.
And so is mine.
And so is Mrs. Flagmire. She's got a lot of papers. Who's Mrs. Flagmire?
She's the only lady on our block who doesn't have any children.
So she's gonna give her papers to us tomorrow.
Maybe these shrimpy kids aren't so dumb after all, Spick. You guys are really thinking ahead, all right. Yeah.
Here are the Sunday papers to give you a start, at least. I'll see if I can bring some more home from work.
I bet we have the biggest stack of papers in the whole world.
I bet you do, too.
Right after school, we're gonna take our wagon and go all over the whole neighborhood.
That's good, but you make sure Earl's mother and Roberta know where you're going.
We will. I hope you won't get lonesome while I'm away at Count Wakasaki.
Well, it will be a little lonesome without a man around the house. But if you two win that trip, I won't mind.
I guess it'll be kind of hard for you having to do everything around here by yourself.
Yes. Yes, it will.
You'll have to carry those for me, Mom. I've got my hands full.
Oh. Steve, well, what brings you here?
I thought I'd take you to lunch.
Oh, I can't today. We're snowed under. And I don't want to work late because I have a very important date tonight.
You didn't forget.
How could I forget the brightest spot of my whole week?
I'll pick you up at about 7 o'clock.
Could we go to Santa Monica and have dinner on the pier?
Whatever you say, honey.
Pardon me for interrupting, honey. Would you mind picking up the phone?
I didn't even hear it ring.
You wouldn't have heard a clap of thunder. Phone didn't ring anyway. I was talking to my wife. Now she wants to talk to you.
Hello, Melba? Yes, fine, thanks. Oh, tonight? I do have some... Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess if the meeting's that important, I'll take over for you. Oh, no, that's all right. I'll take tonight, you take Thursday, okay? Fine. All right, Melba. Goodbye.
Don't tell me our date's off.
Oh, no, our date still stands. And guess what we're going to do tonight?
I'm afraid to.
How would you like to spend the evening helping Dr. Chegley at the inner city clinic? Now, won't that be fun? There's always something a big, strong man can do to help out.
You're looking at a 98-pound weakling.
Oh, Steve.
But it'll be better than not seeing you at all.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
Besides, we still have Thursday night.
That's an even better way to look at it. Well, how's it going?
Swell, we're going over to Mrs. Flagmire's house right now. Yeah, she's got about a mile of papers. When we go to Camp Wakasaki, I'm gonna bring my fishing pole. I'm gonna take my sled because there's snow up in the mountains.
Oh, you guys.
You kids can forget about old lady Flagmire. We've got them all right here.
Mrs. Flagmire, those are our papers.
Yeah, she promised them to us.
Well, we told her you shrimps couldn't make it.
That's a dirty trick. You cheated.
Yeah, you big cheaters.
So long, losers.
We are not losers. And we're gonna win that paper drive anyhow. Aren't we, Earl J. Wagadorn?
There she she has a little inflammation of the ear canal, but the drops will clear it up.
Here you are, Mr. Coleman. Give Katie 2 drops in each ear before bedtime.
Bring her back in a couple of days, and we'll have another look, huh?
You'll feel better tomorrow, Katie.
I sure appreciate this, Dr. Chegley.
Oh, forget it.
I wish there was some way I could pay you. Maybe when I get back to work.
When you can afford to pay me, I'll send you someplace else. Put them down for next Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night, Coleman.
Thanks again.
Good night, sweetheart.
Good night.
Good night, Miss Baker.
Good night, Katie.
Who's next?
Well, that's our last one for tonight.
Good.
This is my last patient, too. And I'm happy to announce a complete cure.
Oh, good. That light hasn't worked for over a month. What'd you do to it?
Major surgery. I removed 2 short circuits and did a bulb transplant.
I just may put you on staff here, Bruce. The pay isn't good, but the hours are terrible.
The nurses are cute anyhow.
Oh, and tired, too. Doctor, are you finished with this? I'd like to take it to Corey for his paper drive.
On one condition.
What's that?
Don't let him read it. The news these days would give him an ulcer.
If he collects enough newspapers, he'll win a trip to camp. That's all that interests Corey.
Welcome home from work, Mrs. Baker. How are you?
Oh, very well, Mr. Cooper, thank you. You looking for someone?
And the paper drivers. Did you see them any place up the street?
Oh, Corey and Earl. No, I haven't.
An hour ago, they took their little wagon and they went out paper driving. And I told them I just might have a few for them when they got back.
I hope you do, Mr. Cooper, because I'm afraid they're not doing too well so far. Oh,
Ah, the conquering heroes return.
well, hi there, fellas. Is that all the papers you've collected?
Everywhere we went, somebody's already been there. Especially Richard and Speck. Do you have any for us, Mr. Cooper?
I'm glad you asked me that, Corey. It just so happened I did find some papers. A couple of them.
A couple? Is that all? Oh, boy! Gee, wow!
All right, so it's a couple more than a couple.
Cheaper, the whole mountain of papers. Are they all for us, Mr. Cooper?
They're not for lining a bird cage.
This is wonderful, Mr. Cooper. Where in the world did you get so many papers?
From my basement. Where else? I am a saver, Mrs. Baker. For the Salvation Army, Goodwill Industries, any charity knows when it comes to old bottles, magazines, strings, newspapers, if Sol Cooper ever had it, Sol Cooper still got it.
Good for you.
To some people, I'm a nut. But to 2 small boys, suddenly I'm a hero.
Wouldn't it be great if everybody saved papers for the drives instead of throwing them away and littering the country?
You know, you're right. I think I'll write a letter to my congressman about that. On second thought, nah. He'll only throw it away.
Holy smoke, we'll never win now. If we could get those papers, we'd win by a mile. Well, sure, but they would... And I think I've got an idea how to get them. Yeah.
It's a good thing Mom drove us here early. This is hard work.
Is that all you shrimps got? That little bitty pile?
Little bitty pile. I bet you haven't got half this many papers, Richard.
You want to bet? Come on.
Look at that.
We got so many, we don't know where to put them all.
Yeah, we had to cover them so they don't blow away. I guess we'll lose now. I sure did want to win that trip to Camp Wakasaki. Me too.
Ah, who needs it?
Huh?
Me and Speck changed our minds. We don't want to go to that old camp.
Nah, who needs it?
So we're gonna sell these papers to some other kid and let them win.
Sell them? Can we buy them?
Got any money?
I got my milk money a dime. I got 15 cents. I drink more milk than Corey.
That's not much money. But I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna trade you our great big stack of papers here for that little bitty pile of yours and 25 cents.
You mean it?
When I lie to you,
You always do.
take it or leave it.
We'll take it.
Okay, they're all yours.
And your papers belong to us.
Let's get this up. I bet this is the biggest pile of...
There's no use getting yourselves all upset. What's done is done. Besides, the day is not a total loss. At least the boys have learned a very important lesson. Right, boys?
Yeah, Richard's a cheater.
No argument. But what you have also learned, Corey, is the first rule of business. Never close a deal until you see the merchandise first.
Rats, cats, gnats. We wanted to go to camp so bad, Mom.
And we wanted you to, too, darn it.
Listen, my brother-in-law always says it's not whether you win or lose that counts, but how you play the game. And he should know. He's a loser.
That's hardly a comfort, Mr. Cooper.
No, but these two young men should be proud of themselves for not pulling such a sneaky trick like Richard did.
Right. You guys wait and see. Richard will get what's coming to him one of these days.
Yeah, and you know what's coming to him? The trip to Camp Wakasaki, that's what's coming to him. Yeah, the dirty cheater.
Now listen, fellas, you can't take this lying down. After all, the paper drive isn't over yet, is it?
Hey, that's right. You still have a chance to win.
Yes, you just have to start over, that's all.
There aren't any papers left anyplace.
Who knows? I still have a few friends. I'll get my chess club on the phone. I'll ask.
And I'll put pressure on at the office tomorrow. We're not licked yet.
Here you are, Julia. Look what old Eddie rounded up for you.
Oh, that's great, Eddie. I didn't expect such fast service.
Oh, I don't fool around, kiddo. The minute you called this morning, I swung into action. I've been through this plant like a tornado.
What's all this?
Oh, Eddie was sweet enough to help me with Corey's paper drive.
Get this stuff out of here, Edson. This is a clinic, not the city dump.
I'm going to put them in my car at lunchtime, Doctor.
No, let him do it now. He has nothing better to do. Is that all you came over here for, is just to mess up the place?
I beg your pardon, Doctor. A professional messenger does not mess. It so happens that I am on a professional mission.
What's that?
Bob Mills' x-ray from the lab. Clearly indicating he has a hairline fracture of the tibia.
I beg your pardon.
See, Doc? I noticed it right off the bat.
Oh, you opened the envelope, took out the x-ray, and looked it over, did you?
Very carefully, Doc. And you can see for yourself that what we've got here is a fractured tibia.
Are you sure?
Check it yourself.
You don't mind?
Of course not. After all, it's your clinic.
By golly, he's right, isn't he, Baker?
About the fracture?
The clinic.
Oh, the fracture too, Doc.
Eddie.
I can tell a fractured tibia when I see one, Julia. I've been reading x-rays for years, Doc.
Started in pre-med, did you?
No, but when I was a Boy Scout, I had a merit badge in first aid and another one in first aid to animals. Some things a Boy Scout never forgets.
Well, if I tell you something now, will you promise that you'll never forget that either?
Sure, Doc.
This is not a fractured tibia.
It isn't?
No, Eddie.
It's a very healthy pair of lungs.
Lungs? Let me see that again.
No. And there's something else I want you to remember, Edson. If you ever open an envelope addressed to this clinic again, I'll have an x-ray taken of you that'll show every bone in your head fractured by these two hands.
some attitude. Most doctors want to get another opinion on a thing as complicated as an x-ray, but not him.
He just doesn't appreciate you, Eddie. But I do. Now you know where my car is, right? Thanks a lot.
You're about a week late with this, Mrs. Escudero. That cast could have been off days ago. Why didn't you come in when I told you to?
Well, to tell the truth, Senor Doctor, it was so good to see Fernando and the kids do all the housework. I just hate to take it off. It's my first vacation since I am married.
Well, it's all over now. Back to the salt mines.
Oh.
Good night, Mrs. Escudero.
Good night, Miss Julia. Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, well, it looks like you're the last one, Mr. Coleman. Where's Katie?
Doctor finished my kids already.
Katie's ear okay now, Coleman?
Oh, she's fine. Those drops cleared it right up. And Freddie's eye is better, and my wife's foot feels good. And I'm glad you finally let me pay a little something, Doctor.
Pay for treatment?
Never mind, Baker.
As a matter of fact, I managed to scrape up enough to pay for all my kids' visits this week.
Good. We can use it.
You never let your patients pay here before.
Things have changed around here, Baker. People were always talking about paying me, so I decided to go ahead and let them pay. And I've gotten some very nice fees this week.
Well, there are a lot of things we need around here.
I don't intend to use my fees on the clinic, Baker.
What do you mean?
I intend to donate my take for this week to a very needy friend. 2 very needy friends, Corey Baker and Earl J. Wagadorn.
Dr. Chegley, you are kidding.
1 bundle per visit. That's my fee. Now, if this doesn't get our boys to camp, I'll take them there myself.
Dr. Chegley, do you mind if I do something?
What?
This.
Young lady, don't you ever dare do that again.
Kiss you?
No, ask me if I mind. Anytime you feel like kissing me, you just sail right in and do it.
And we'll have a great big campfire and everything.
Yeah. Mom, will you write postcards for Dr. Chegley and Mr. Cooper that I could send to them from Count Wakasaki?
Corey, you can write a postcard.
I know, but it takes me too long, and I'll be pretty busy.
I'll get it.
Hi, Mrs. W.
Hello there, Eddie. Come in.
Thanks, Julia. I can't stay. Can you come downstairs a minute? I'd like to show you something.
Oh, of course.
You boys can come along, too, if you want. I felt bad that I couldn't be more help to Corey with his paper drive, Julia.
Oh, but you did help, Eddie.
Well, I
You
wasn't satisfied, so today I left work early, got my cousin in his truck, and how's that?
Oh, no, Eddie.
That's all we need.
How's that, Corey? That ought to win the paper drive, huh?
We already did win.
The paper drive ended yesterday, Eddie.
What is this? Mrs. Baker, you're not starting with the junk papers again.
Oh, no, Mr. Cooper.
Then who made a trash pile out of my lobby?
I gotta run along. If you don't want the papers, boys, just throw them out. It's okay.
Oh, no, you don't. Just a minute.
Eddie, you can't leave them here.
I'll have to, Julia. My cousin just dropped me off with them. He's gone with the truck, so...